Hello, everyone. I am Pallavi Barman. I am called the custodian at HRX. Well, that is a tricky definition, but technically, what I do is manage the business at HRX. And this time, we have come with a new proposition for you, for the listeners and the viewers, which is going to change your lives. Well, that is XPOD, powered by HRX, bringing to you the newest podcast property from HRX. And I will be your host and your guide and your mentor and whatever you want me to be. So stay tuned and keep watching XPOD powered by HRX. Hello and welcome to XPOD. At XPOD, we promise to add value to our listeners and viewers by bringing them experts and experiences to learn from. And the one guest that we have today is someone I respect and personally admire for what she's been doing over the last 2 decades of her profession. She is a holistic wellness coach and a PCOS expert, and she has impacted more than 20,000 lives in her last 15 years of work. She believes in not just prescribing and letting people be, but her methodology involves in helping people become self-aware and start taking care of themselves independently. And she is none other than Neha Ranglani. Welcome, Neha. Hello. Welcome to XPOD. So welcome, Neha, again. And I'm super excited and super stoked to have you here and to be chatting with you. Because a brief introduction doesn't befit Neha. She is a health and wellness coach for almost 15 years now, and she has impacted 20,000 lives, at least.
Yeah.
By teaching them how to live in a more sustainable way and start healing themselves independently. Neha, I'm curious to ask you, how important is it to have a good morning routine, and how does that set the tone for the day?
I think, your mornings are such a powerful time of the day because it's a new beginning, it's a new start, it's the first day to the rest of your life. And I think every morning should be taken as a very sacred time to do things that can set you up for the day, because it sets your mood, it sets your intention, it sets your day in a way to achieve whatever you want to achieve for the rest of your life. I mean, your dreams, your ambitions, health goals, everything. So I think morning routines are super important. Starting your day with gratitude and just being grateful that you're alive for another day and you're seeing the sun. You're opening your eyes to the beautiful nature, and then setting an intention for the day as to what do you want your day to be like.
Wow.
So do you want your day to be more impactful? Do you want your day to be peaceful? Whatever you are yearning for, I think set your intention, then get into some breath work, do some sort of meditation to calm yourself and to get into a great space to attract. Because we attract what we are, not what we want.
Right.
So
that's manifestation.
Yeah, that's manifestation. And then eat a healthy breakfast, nourish yourself well with a lot of hydrating drinks, fruits, juices, to get your day going, to get your cells revived and rejuvenated to sustain you through the day. Stop doing your tea, coffees first thing in the morning, super dehydrating and literally whipping your gut first thing in the morning, and you don't want that.
Guilty as charged. I start my day with coffee, but not just coffee. Before that, I have my good fats. I'm going to have some ghee and almonds. I don't know how good or bad that. We'll jump into that. Wow. So that was really insightful as to how your morning is the precedent to the rest of your day and therefore the rest of your life. With your mornings, there is so much you can do. But before we delve more into these tips and nuggets of wisdom, we will take Neha into our next segment, which is Expert Talk. In Expert Talk, we pick out issues and discussion points and delve deeper into them. Neha, so I want to ask you, you educate people on authentic nutrition. How is authentic nutrition different from our regular nutritional practices, and what are those commonest errors that people practice on a day-to-day basis which kind of deviates from their goals?
So by authentic nutrition, what I mean is giving you the right knowledge. Like, the internet is full of information and people are just picking out information. They've become their own doctor. They've started diagnosing conditions and started applying tips and diets and everything that's available online. But you really don't know if that's good for your body.
Absolutely agree.
And rather, forget being good. It could be actually detrimental to your health because you really don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Is that really for you? you need to really check that. So by authentic nutrition, what I mean is you kind of give people the right knowledge for their body type, for their body, for their lifestyle, for their mental, emotional issues, and then amalgamate all aspects of health to give them a wholesome health experience. This is what I mean about whole, authentic nutrition.
I totally agree with you. That makes so much sense because people assume that the search engine is supposed to serve everyone, but that's not the case because you're not putting in your individuality and your conditions in. Great. With that, Neha, I want to talk to you about your core area of expertise, which is PCOS.
Yes.
PCOD, PCOS. It sounds like it's become the new plague for the womankind. I mean, the young girls, every second girl is kind of suffering. What is it? And how is it impacting the new age girls, or, I mean, not just new age girls, but how is it generally impacting girls and women?
So, well, Pallavi, if you remember, our mothers, grandmothers, did they ever speak about PCOS?
Never.
Did you ever hear them say period नहीं आया इस month या 3 महीने तक मुझे period नहीं आया या लड़कियों को period नहीं आता है? We were just told periods are going to come every month. This is what it's supposed to be. And this is what it is. Your periods are the monthly report card of your health.
Right.
So literally, if you're getting your periods every month, it shows that your body is functioning well and it's doing what it has to do. I mean, your periods are not just for producing babies.
Yeah.
They are a part of your health, and healthy periods are a sign of vibrant health. So the amount of fat is increasing in girls from a very early age, especially the visceral fat. So fat as a tissue actually produces estrogen, which is your female hormone. That's why girls are getting periods earlier than before. And PCOS is basically a lifestyle issue where you are not eating well, where it's we've termed it as reproductive issue, but it's an entire metabolic problem. So it affects every part of your body, from your gut to your liver to your reproductive health to your mental health. It affects everything. And because of the lifestyle that we are leading, like sleeping late, stressing out so much. I mean, for us, stress was just studies, a little bit of that, and nothing else.
Grades in school mainly.
Yeah, and
or winning
today,
some competition here and there. It was
absolutely. And today, girls are stressing about their body, about their figure, about relationships at such an early age.
Wow.
That it's not funny. So the stress is affecting them. The gut microbiome is getting completely affected because of the way they are eating and living, which eventually affects the hormone excretion, and it causes recirculation of hormones in the body, and excess production of testosterone from your ovaries and adrenal glands, which leads to all the PCOS symptoms, hirsutism, acne, irregular periods, all of that. So, just the way the girls are living today, that's why it's become a plague. I mean, I did not hear of PCOS when I was studying in school and college.
I agree. It's just, it's been a buzzword since the last few years.
Yeah.
No more than 5 or 6 years ago did I come across this. Guilty as charged. I mean, we feed our children pizzas and burgers for dinners because we want to take them out. We want to treat them. Neha, you mentioned gut microbiome.
Yes.
I have had a personal tryst where I personally think that my gut was super messed up. And when I went and researched, I convinced myself to believe that I had a condition called gut dysbiosis.
Yeah.
Because no matter how hard I tried, I was not losing weight. My body had structurally kind of plateaued. I was retaining a lot of water. I was bloated. Even with the minutest intake of food, I was bloated. Do you think I was right in my judgment? And is it gut that kind of leads to so many problems in turn?
Well, I think all of us, to a certain extent, have gut dysbiosis today. Even if you're eating the healthiest food, living the healthiest lifestyle, the kind of food that we are getting today is not as pure as it used to be. It has a lot of pesticides and, all the additional chemicals that we are ingesting, plus the products that we use on ourselves, the pollution that we are surrounded with, everything affects our gut microbiome. Besides that, the stress and the sleep patterns and obviously, the way we live affects our gut microbiome. So all of us, to a certain extent, have a little gut dysbiosis. But
so it's okay to live with this?
No, it's not okay to live with it because your gut is literally, your large intestine is like a garden of microbes, and it has more microbes than we have human cells.
Right.
So we are more bacteria than human, technically.
Correct.
Yes.
Animal kingdom back in us.
Yeah, because every cell of our body has so much of, so many bacteria, so many microbes. And this garden literally depends on how you nourish it. So these bacteria feed on the food we eat. And if you are eating junk, you have the bad guys growing in there. And if you're eating healthy and living a good life, you have more population of the good guys. And it's not just they being there. and doing nothing, they do so much in our gut. They literally modulate your hormones, your weight, your mental health, your organ function, your sleep patterns. They do a lot staying in there.
So gut is the fix for a lot of our problems.
It is.
Or perceived problems, so to say.
It is the first step or like the first point to correcting any health condition in your body. Like Hippocrates rightly said, all diseases begin in the gut, and that is true.
Take care of your gut is as simple as that. One question comes to my mind, Neha, and this is a hypothesis, and I'm going to use you to prove this or disapprove of this. People are doing various forms of fasting. Well, personally, I'm a believer of fasting because I feel you need to rest your system. But I see many people kind of limiting their intake to certain food kinds only, right? It could be macronutrients or certain kind of nutrients. They're very limited in their approach of consumption. When you limit your intake or consumption, does that impact your microbiome in any way? Does it get too used to just sort of working on one kind of food item and eliminating the other kinds?
So your gut microbiome literally feeds on the food you eat, like I said, right? So you need to eat a variety of things to give a variety of microbes their food. So every microorganism will feed on different substrates and, will enjoy different kind of food. Like we enjoy variety when we go to a wedding or to a buffet and, we want variety. So our gut microbiome feeds on the fiber basically that we eat, the good guys I'm talking about. So you need to eat a variety of fiber-rich foods, which actually feeds the bacteria and they get their food and then they produce the chemicals which helps our body, like neurotransmitters, and they'll produce butyric acid. There are a lot of other substances that these guys produce. Now, what we need to actually take care of is that we need to focus on a variety of colorful fiber-rich foods that we can include in our day-to-day life. And this is what is not happening with certain diets, like you said, where people are removing a whole
carbs, for example, are completely eliminated.
Your bacteria, your microbes feed on carbs, the good carbs. So if you see diets where, they're only consuming protein, only consuming fat, where are you getting your fiber from to feed the good guys?
Yeah, I feel the same way. And I also feel that by eliminating certain food kinds, you're kind of making your gut sensitive in a way. Is that true? Does it become very sensitive to only consuming some kinds of food and then reacts when you have the other things?
Not really. I mean, if you're having some kind of food, and of course, like say you remove carbs completely and then you start eating carbs, obviously your body is going to react in different ways. You may feel bloated because suddenly there's more fiber for the bacteria to feed and there'll be more gas production and all of that. So these kind of changes do happen, but I'm not talking about eliminating the important, macronutrients and stuff. Yes, you definitely can eliminate certain foods which are causing allergies or sensitivity to your gut. Like for a lot of people today, dairy and gluten and, sugar causes a lot of problems. So if you're actually taking that off, you may be doing great for your system.
Sure, yeah.
But I'm talking about just eating a wholesome, balanced diet, making sure that your entire day has a lot of fruits, greens, vegetables, beans, sprouts, nuts, because then you're talking great gut health.
So rice, potatoes, fruits are not really enemies for anyone?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so there it was. The crux of the matter is that you need to involve and include everything that you have grown up eating and not really eliminate things thinking they are your enemies, but do go ahead and talk to people like Neha and find out what works for your system.
In fact, I just want to add something here.
Yes,
when you said rice and potatoes are actually prebiotics. So when you eat cold potato, like cold boiled potato and cold rice, it has resistant starch in it, which is actually great food for your gut microbiome.
I'm going to be talking to you not as a health coach. I'm not going to be talking to you as a PCOS expert. We want to know Neha, the person that she is, and how does she manage her life. Because you do so much, Neha. I'm sure you ask this question all the time. How do you manage it all? Because you're an author, you have 3 published books, you are running your family, you are a health expert, and I'm sure you listen to so many woes from so many different people. So how do you manage it all?
I love being organized with my to-do lists. So I make it very sure that I compartmentalize my day and have my personal time and I have my professional time separate and I have a little time for leisure and family. but you're not feeling great about it because you're always in the stress.
Correct.
So, the flight
Always
and fight
in fight
mode.
or flight mode,
Yeah.
right? I get it.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is we need to kind of center ourselves in the morning. You sort of find your balance the first thing in the morning and then start your day so that things fall in order and you kind of...
Yeah. You collect yourself, you gather yourself, you center yourself. And from there, when you go out into the world, you're achieving, but with a lot of, calmness and positivity, and you're enjoying your achievements and you're enjoying what you're doing with that
You're
stress.
into the moment and realizing what you're doing.
Yeah.
It is as simple as that. So, I mean, don't shy away from meditating or doing some breathing early in the morning. It's not really what yogis or, practitioners of meditation do, but it's for everyone, guys. So 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes of yoga here and there is the takeaway. Last question, Neha, literally. You are a PCOS expert. All of us PMS at some point or the other. In fact, so much so that we're joked. Our PMS has become a subject of joke.
Yeah.
In spite of being an expert, do you also PMS? And if you do, how good, bad, ugly is it? And how do you manage that?
Yeah. So I've battled with PMS from my early teen years, from the time I hit puberty. I've battled with PMS, and how I'm the most irritated and the most affable person at that time when I'm PMSing a week before my periods. This was me till some years back, till I actually turned vegan and changed my lifestyle and got in the breath work and meditation. So when I actually started playing a lot with my lifestyle, my PMS got much better. Not that I don't have bad days now also. I do. Some months are really ugly, where I'm super emotional and craving sweets and all of that. And some months it's like a breeze. I don't even realize. So it depends on how much workload I have and probably what I've eaten that month. Maybe I've traveled, or I've just eaten a little more unhealthy food than my normal routine. So those months are little haywire. Also depends on the inflammation in the body. So your PMS has to do completely with your gut health and your inflammation. So if you're inflamed, you've eaten a lot of inflammatory foods, you've taken a lot of stress, then your PMS is going to be so bad. So yeah, I do have months, but then I manage it with the right kind of supplements. That 1 week before the period, I make sure I'm, eating healthy, drinking my herbal tea, my ginger water, my green smoothies, doing my fruits, trying to catch up on sleep, watching content which makes me happy and, inspired and motivated, not watching heavy, like
emotional drama.
Yeah, like not watching all of that makes you more cranky. So I'm like aware, and I try to do these things, and, just doing the right supplements, doing your probiotics, doing like an evening primrose oil, which kind of calms your PMS. So all of that kind of helps me to balance it.
With this, we are done with this segment. This is our story with Neha. This was Neha's story, and we ended up touching upon so many things which will leave you nothing but excited to go back and try doing a few things that she mentioned as basic tips. Meditation, centering yourself in the morning, finding what you love for self-care, and practicing those expressions of self-care on a daily basis. For all that you have shared with us, Neha, and for the time that you have shared with us, we have a little something for you, which is there to make our
Doesn't look like little though.
podcast as exciting as the other chat shows on TV.
Pretty heavy. I'll just keep it here. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Pallavi. It was such a pleasure. And this looks quite wholesome, so
this
I'm
is
excited.
for you to take back and not consume yourself, but it's for the others who will enjoy it. And for this, I have to thank our sponsors, Prestige Identity, because they are our official gifting partners, and they are the ones who are bringing us these beautiful fancy hampers for all our guests. So at HRX, we believe in the philosophy of becoming the better version of ourselves. And for that, we do everything possible to equip ourselves to move on to that path. At XPOD, we bring you experts who believe in the same philosophy and work with us hand in glove to make you get to the end of your journey, because you are constantly a work in progress. So stay tuned and keep coming back to XPOD for more such experts like Neha, who are going to bring in their wisdom, their practicality, and their knowledge, all for you to take back and learn and become independent and self-aware in taking care of yourself and self-healing. With that, we sign off. See you soon.